Last night, U.S. Air Force F-16s attacked and destroyed ammunition holding facilities linked with Iran-backed militants in the Middle East in Syria. Now, the message that was supposed to have been sent was that this is going to send a message to Iran that they better stop this, to these groups that are in the area, that they need to stop attacking American troops or there's going to be a penalty to pay. I heard many people on the news last night when this story was first breaking say, it's about time. We need to show these guys we're serious about this. We are going to protect American troops no matter what. And they need to understand that there's a price to pay, whether it's Iran or these groups, for attacking United States troops in the area. Breaking news, just minutes before we started making this broadcast right here, news is breaking from ABC News that another attack has happened against U.S. forces, this time in Iraq. An unmanned aerial vehicle was heading towards, probably a suicide drone, was heading towards U.S. troops, was intercepted and shot down. And again, we're lucky it did not kill any Americans. How long that luck is going to hold is anybody's guess. But if anyone was confused about whether that aerial strike was going to send a message that the other side was going to get, this puts a hard stamp of a no dead on it. And this is what I've been talking about for a long time. But first of all, I want to show you a couple of things here of what the administration is saying and what they're hoping that this message this sends. John Kirby said this earlier today.
These strikes were in self-defense for our ability to protect ourselves and our troops. I mean, they went right at targets that were tied to the Iranian Revolutionary Guard Corps, the IRGC, that is resourcing, funding, training, and making capable all these proxy groups. These two targets went right at their storage facilities, weapons facilities, that kind of thing, to try to get at their ability to do exactly that.
Yeah, it's not going to have any impact at all. In fact, if anything else, it's going to exacerbate the situation and make them want to do it more. And the administration has gone overboard. And I mean, everybody from the president to the minister, secretary of defense, and all the way on down to say this is not connected to the Israel-Hamas situation. That is a complete independent situation. This has to do with our troops in Syria and Iraq. And that's, of course, nonsense, because it doesn't matter what they say. It only matters what people in the region believe. And they believe they are absolutely tied. Now, this, as I've been saying here, this issue is not about protecting our troops. I'm 100% in agreement that American troops need to be protected, that it is, as Secretary Austin said yesterday, it is a highest importance for the administration to protect the lives of our service members. 100% agree with that. Big time disagreement on how that's done, because no one's examining even what's going on with under the surface here. Why are there troops in Iraq? Why are there troops in Syria? What is the vital interest of America that those troops are actually helping? And I'll tell you, there's none. They shouldn't even be there. And it's not like I'm just suddenly saying, hey, now that I see those troops have been attacked, we should take them out, because so many people just reflexively say, oh, you just want to be an appeaser, and you have to be strong with these guys. You have to be pushed back here, or else they'll take advantage of you. And what I've been saying for a long time is that these troops don't do anything for America. And in fact, what they do serve is a point of vulnerability for our country. Definitely not something just came to. This is what I said on Fox News 4 years ago.
You said that the best thing that President Trump could do at this point is to pull completely out of Iraq and Syria. That Syria component was one he looked at, and his critics were harsh on him. Why do you say that?
Yes, they were. And even on your show periodically.
I know you were supporting the president.
Yeah, I
remember.
saying that's what he should have been doing. And I wish that he would follow through with what he said. He said it twice last year, and yet they're still there, because all they do is pose a threat to be attacked. But there's no security interest of America that they're defending, because those people that are there, they don't have the ability to come and attack the United States. They're stuck in Syria. All we do is take more risk and have the risk of more soldiers being killed, and that does not help.
Now, so far, no troops have been killed. But look, we're now in a situation that is so much more volatile than it was in 2019 because of what's going on in Israel and Hamas, and the possibility for Hezbollah to get involved, and the possibility for Iran to get involved, and the possibility that we may engage on behalf of Iran. The place is a tinderbox. And so now then that we're already taking action against these troops, these Hezbollah type groups that are in the area there already that have attacked us means the chances is already going that this could explode into a regional war. The absolute worst thing in American interest right now is to get sucked in to another Middle Eastern war. And we are dangerously close to that. And those troops that are on the ground there are just nothing but a big target set that makes it easy for whether it's Kataib Hezbollah in Iraq, whether it's, some of these other direct Iranian-backed groups that are all over the place in Syria. There's a number of them. And that makes them easy targets, makes us easy targets. Now, why in the world do you want to put American troops on the ground in harm's way for no valid purpose to our country? Look, I've said this many times before. When I was in uniform for 21 years for combat deployments, I absolutely understood that I may have to sacrifice my life in defense of American interests. And if we were ever attacked, that's just a part of the business. You just understand that's what you do. What nobody in uniform does, though, is sign up and put their life on the line to sit in the middle of the desert and wonder if a bomb's going to hit them. That's not a good use of our troops. And in fact, if you're talking about wanting to protect our troops, they need to be withdrawn. They need to be withdrawn now. U.S. needs to make a smart, rational choice and get those troops out of there so that they're not in pointless harm's way. Being in harm's way to do America's job is one thing, and that's fine. We get that. Putting troops in harm's way and risking their lives when there is nothing at stake for America is a waste of American lives. And you talk about supporting the troops. How is it supporting the troops if we put them in a place where they could die and they're not even serving any valid purpose? And in this case, their deaths could prompt a strike into Iran that could actually prompt a war in which even more Americans would be killed. Look, this is about protecting America, protecting our service members, and not having something that's a local issue right now with Israel and Hamas exploding into a region-wide war that we get sucked into. And I can assure you, we cannot handle another war right now. We're already dangerously low in stocks of 155 millimeter artillery shells, Stinger missiles, air defense rockets. We're low on all those things because we've already given so much to Ukraine and they're asking for more. Now we're giving those exact same things into Israel because they're expecting a long war into Gaza that's going to use a lot of those same categories. Now, we're struggling to even come close to replacing what we've lost, in addition to all these vehicles that we've given. And if we get into a war, folks, we don't have enough to do all of those. And God help us if anything happens in the Indo-Pacific area. But I won't even get into that now, but you can figure out that would be bad for us. So let's don't risk America's national security by keeping troops in a region that all it does is a strategic risk for us with no upside at all. And we have to avoid this war. So let's get those troops out of there while we can. Let's don't sacrifice one more American life unnecessarily. Thank you very much. That's all we got for you on the Deep Dive today. We'll be back this afternoon with another good show. See you later.